Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and happy December. I cannot believe we are on our final month of 2024. This year has just flown by and I know I have been saying that like in almost every like TBR video lately. But this year has really gone by really fast and I have a lot of reading to get done before the end of the year. And I have a month, actually less than a month to do it because I'm filming this on December 1st, at the end of December 1st. So it's almost December 2nd as I'm filming this. So yeah, it is my TBR video. I am filming it a little late, but that's okay because I have some fun video ideas planned. So I'm not doing my typical like TBR game. I normally do my I will choose your TBR, but I am skipping a month and it will come back at the new year, for the new year. So yeah, but this time I am actually choosing my TBR based off of the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees, and I chose the books based on what I own and also kind of what I feel like reading this month. But I chose a book from every category except for like the non-fiction categories and the new audiobook category. I actually already finished the book that I voted for in the audiobook category, and that was Listen for the Lie. I did the audiobook for that and I loved it. Like, if you haven't read that book yet, I definitely recommend you doing it via the audiobook. It was so good. It was one of my 3 books I read in November. And yeah, so I read Listen for the Lie, When the Moon Hatched, and Delicate Escape. And I gave them all 5 stars. So even though I only read 3 books, I still call that a win because they were all amazing. 5 stars, like new favorites. So yeah, didn't read much, but that's okay. I'm kind of getting back into like my reading like mood. So hopefully I get to the books that I want to get to in the month of December. So I'm going to finish rambling and get to the books that are on my TBR. Okay, so like I said, I am basing my TBR off of the Goodreads nominees, and so I'm just going to start with the first category they normally have when you open up the awards, and that is fiction. And this is the only fiction book that I currently own that are in like the nominees, and that is The Wedding People by Allison S. Puck. I've heard really good things about this. I know this one is probably won't win. I think the winner will probably be the Sally Rooney one, but I am very excited to read this one. I've heard really good things about it, and yeah, it will be another book of the month book off my TBR if I get to this one. So yeah, I have a fun video planned like with all of the nominees, and I know it probably won't come out until after like the winners are announced, but that's okay. I just wanted to have a fun video of reading some of the books that were nominated. So The Wedding People is the first book on my TBR. And then the next 2 books are my options for historical fiction. And the first one I have is The Frozen River by Ariel Lahan. I've heard amazing things about this one, and also it has like a wintry theme, so I think it'd be perfect to read in December. But I also have The Lion Women of Tehran by Marjan Kamali. I haven't heard too much about this one, but it was a Goodreads nominee, so it definitely like piqued my interest again. Like, obviously I was interested in it when I got it with Book of the Month. I just also love this cover. I know this is the same author, I think, that wrote The Stationery Shop. I haven't read that book, but I know that one got a lot of like buzz when it first came out. But yeah, I have this as an option too. We will see which one I end up reading in that like video I have planned. But yeah, these are the 2 historical fiction options. And then I have 2 options for mystery thriller. Oh, whoops, dropped one. I have First Lie Wins by Ashluvsbooks+owls. I heard really good things about this one. I don't have really a synopsis for this one because I like going into my thrillers kind of blind. And then I also have Home is Where the Body Are by Geneva Rose. I love this cover, like the old like video cassette cover. So yeah, these are my 2 options for mystery thriller. I've heard great things about both of these. This one I think has more mixed reviews, but I am excited to read both of these, and we will see which one I get to. So yeah, these are the mystery thriller options. I also have already read, like I said, I've read Listen for the Lie, and that is actually what I voted for since I won't finish these before the winners are dropped. But Listen for the Lie, I definitely recommend. All right, and then next up is romance, and I might have a couple options for romance. It just depends on if I finish a certain book. So the first one I'll just show you is Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver. This is a sequel to Butcher and Blackbird, which I read earlier this year and loved. And I just have not gotten to this one yet, but it was one of the nominees for Goodreads, so it's definitely back like on my radar, and I want to like read it as soon as possible. We will see if I get to it in December. Otherwise, I have this option, but it depends on if I finish the other series. That is Wild Love by Elsie Silver, but yeah, I only want to read this if I finish Hopeless. Again, this is just a bookmark that I put in there so it didn't get ruined when I was putting it in a bag for work, but I ended up not starting it at work. But yeah, I want to read Hopeless before I read Wild Love. I know you don't have to, but I think they're kind of in like the same world, and I think maybe like this like place was kind of introduced in this series a little bit. But I don't think you have to. I just like to read the series in order. I know I didn't do that with the Off to the Races. Like, I still have yet to read that series. I know that one came before this one, but I didn't know that before I started the series, so that's fine. I just want to finish this because it's also the last one in the what is it called? The Chestnut Springs like series. It's the last one I have. I loved all the other 4 that I read in this series, so I just really want to get to that and hopefully maybe get to this in December as well. I know they were really quick. Like, I read, I think, the rest of the series all in like one day, so I could easily finish both of these. But yeah, we will see what gets decided in that video again. All right, and then I have a couple options for romantasy. So this first one, I'll just go ahead and say I have Apprentice of the Villain, but I am currently still in the middle of Assistant to the Villain. I think I'm a little over halfway through that, so I could easily finish that. Like, it was carrying over of a read from November. I just didn't end up finishing it, but I'm liking it. I'm like really enjoying it, so I will definitely pick up the sequel right away if I end up needing to from that video. And then I also have Quicksilver by Callie Hart, which has been like getting so much buzz. Like, I am feeling left out because I still have not read it. I feel like I'm the only one. But yeah, I have these 2 options. We will see. Oops. All right, and then for fantasy, I own a couple of the other options other than this one, but I really just want to get to this one, and that is Five Broken Blades by Maya Corlin. I heard some mixed things. That's why I have been pushing it off a little bit, but it was nominated for Goodreads, so we will see. I hope I enjoy it because it is like the pretty like Red Tower edition. So yeah, I don't think I've read any of like the pretty like hardcover Red Tower books other than Fourth Wing. and Iron Flame. Those are the only two that I have read. I still have, like, I own all the ones that have came out this year, but still have yet to read them. So hopefully I can get to this in December, because I want to read some of them, and the rest will probably have to carry over to next year. But yeah, 5 Broken Blades. I think people have kind of compared this to, like, 6 of Crows, but we will see. I know it has, like, multiple point of views, and I think I have heard, like, that there isn't much romance in it, so that's why, or, like, the romance is not, like, prevalent, or, like, I don't know, like, there's a little romance in it, but it's not, I think, enough to make it romantic-y, and that's why I don't think it's in that category. At least that's what I've heard. I know I've watched videos of people, like, questioning why this wasn't in romantic-y, and I'm pretty sure it's because this one is more fantasy, like, heavy, and not romantic-y. At least that's what I've heard from other people. I'm not sure. I haven't read it yet, but I am excited to read it. All right. And then next up, I have the sci-fi option, and I'm choosing The Ministry of Time by Colleen Bradley. I think this is like a sci-fi romance a little bit, and yeah, it just says, boy meets girl, the past meets the future, a finger meets a trigger, the beginning meets the end. That's like the little, like, blurb on the back. That's all I really know about it. I heard really good things about it when it first came out, but now I'm hearing some mixed things. So that kind of makes me a little nervous, but I'm still excited to add it to my TBR. And then next up, I have horror, and that I have Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle. This is another one that I've heard really good things about. Who would have thought the Goodreads nominees are books I've heard really good things about? All right. Again, I really don't know too much about this. I just know that people rave about this horror book. Horror is not my top genre, but I have, like, read a few horror books. So we will see if I enjoy this. I love the cover, and yeah, I've just heard really good things about this book and this author in general. So excited to add it. Right. And then I did choose a book from the debut category, and it just so happens to be a romance book, and that is How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. I am fine with having, like, choosing a romance for the debut, because romances are quick to get through. So I am totally fine with this. I am not sure if this is, like, I don't know if this is, like, friends to lovers, or I am 100% not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but it follows Grant and Helen. So yeah, I am not sure if it's, like, enemies to lovers or friends to lovers. I just know it's a romance, and it was a debut. So yeah, I'm excited to give this a try. And then the next category is YA fantasy, and I chose Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. I could have also chosen Reckless by oh my gosh, is it Lauren Roberts, I think? I could have chosen that one, but I really want to get to this one because I've been hearing so much good things about it, and I know the sequel comes out in, I think, January or beginning of next year. So I want to read it before the sequel comes out. So yeah, I know this is an enemies to lovers, witch and witch hunter YA fantasy romance, and that sounds really fun. So I'm excited to add this to the TBR. And then the last category I have is the YA fiction, and I only had one book that I own in that category, and that is Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. I voted for Heartstopper in that category, the 5th Heartstopper book, because I love that. and that's the only one I read from that category. And then, so this is the only one I own in that category that that I can read. Yeah. So yeah, I am going to be reading Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. I think this is, again, like a King Arthur kind of like retelling a little bit. Not, I don't know. It's fiction, so I know it's not like a fantasy, but yeah. And I know it's sapphic. I've heard it's sapphic, so that's exciting. I'm excited to add this to my TBR. So those were all my Goodreads books that I am hoping to get to in December. Now I want to just quickly go through some Christmas romance books that I have on my TBR. Again, I am not going to get through all of these, but they're just some Christmassy winter romances that I hope I can get to in December. And again, I also have a fun video planned for these Christmas romances as well. So the first one I have is One Day in December by Josie Silver. I also have A Winter in New York, also by her, the same author. I have had this one on my TBR for the longest. I just have still not gotten to it. It came out in 2018. That's going on 7 years that it has probably been on my TBR, because actually no, it has not been on my TBR that long, because I've only had Book of the Month since 2019. So I ended up probably getting it in my box later on. But it has been out since December of 2018. So I still should probably get to it. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this when it first came out, so I really want to get to it. And then, yeah, Winter in New York came out last year, and I just did not get to it last year. So yeah, still excited for both of these. And then next Book of the Month Christmas romance I have is Kiss Her Once for Me. This is one I actually still have a bookmark kind of in place. I read 59 pages of it, and I ended up putting it down for whatever reason. I am not sure why, because I think I was enjoying it. I don't know. I don't know why. This is a sapphic Christmas romance, and it came out 2 years ago. And yeah, I just ended up not getting to it in the last couple of years. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get to it this year, since it's been a while. All right. And then this is a new release from this year, and that is The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Ross. This is a male Christmassy romance. Well, actually, it's Christmassy and Halloween. If you've watched Nightmare Before Christmas, you know it's Christmas and Halloween, yeah. So yeah, this says, two princes, two rival holidays, what could possibly go right? So yeah, it sounds like it'll be a fun time. I love Nightmare Before Christmas, so I'm really, really excited to read this one. And it has pretty red edges. All right, and next up I have a book by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is the author of From Blood and Ash, and this is a contemporary kind of wintry, Christmassy romance, and that is Frigid. I just love this cover, and it has pretty edges also. I think this is a friends to lovers, forced proximity romance, and it follows these two friends. I think they've been friends for a while, and they get stranded together at a ski resort. So it sounds really fun, and yeah, I'm excited to add this to my Christmas TBR. All right, and next up I have a few here. I have The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayless. Guessing she goes on 12 dates, and before she finds out who Mr. Right is. Yeah, it says, one woman, 12 Mr. Right, what could go wrong? 'Tis the season for finding romance in this hilarious and uplifting holiday read. So yeah, it looks cute. I've had it on my TBR for a while now. Then I also have Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. This is, I think, yeah, it says two best friends fake date to reach their holiday happily ever after. So yeah, it sounds really cute. Little friends to lovers fake dating. And then I have One Last Gift by Emily Stone. I'm not sure if this is like, says this is USA Today said it's truly an unforgettable and heart-tugging novel. So I don't think this one is a rom-com. I think this one will be more like heavy hitting. And I think by the cover it kind of does look like it could be a little more heavy hitting. But it looks like it'll be cute. It says, sometimes the best gifts in life are the ones you don't expect. It still sounds like it'll be cute. All right. And then the last three I have here, I have Just Like Magic by Sarah Hogel. This says, the holidays were never her thing until she unwittingly summons the holiday spirit before her very eyes. So I think this has like a little bit of magical realism in it. This is one I've had on my TBR for a little while now too. I just still have not gotten to it. So yeah, one I am excited to get to. And then I have Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey, which has been on several Christmas TBRs. And I don't know why I have not gotten to it. It's so short, so I could easily finish it in like a sitting. But I just haven't. It's, yeah, 248 pages. So I could easily just finish this quick. But yeah, I just have not yet. I know it follows, I think it's like a workplace romance. Like she gets a job at this, because I'm pretty sure I started this book. Yeah, I did end up starting this book, and I only got like 33 pages into it. And yeah, like she like starts this job, and I think it turns into a like workplace kind of romance. And then the last one I have is The Christmas Wish by Lindsay Kelk. I am not sure exactly what this is about. Just another cute little Christmas book. It's a cute little cover. So yeah, that is what that is. And then I have two more books on my TBR that I don't know if I'll get to at all. And the first one is Anastasia by Sophie Lark. I had this on my TBR last year, but it's so thick and I just ended up not finishing it. Like I think I tried to read it, but I just could not get into it at the time. And I really want to take my time maybe with this one. But again, it is so thick. So I could save it for winter. Like I feel like I don't have to read it in Christmas season. Like I could wait till like the winter months to read it. But yeah, I just know I've heard really good things. Like if you love Anastasia, you probably will like this. But yeah, I love the Anastasia movie, so I've been dying to like read this book. So I'm hoping I can get to it in December, if not December, January for sure. And then the last book I have that I like own right now is The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johansson. This also I had on my TBR last year and ended up, this is like a Nutcracker retelling kind of like fantasy, or I think it's more like magical realism. But yeah, I've been excited to get to this one. I just have been pushing it off again until the Christmas months because it's a Nutcracker retelling. So yeah, still excited to read this, but also very nervous to read it because I have been hearing some not so great reviews on it. So it does make me nervous. I think that is why I ended up not finishing it last year, because reviews were coming in and they weren't the greatest. So I ended up putting it back down and then never picking it back up. All right, and then the last book I have, I just don't own yet, and that is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. I'll put the picture here. It's by Allie Carter. It was my book of the month pick for December, And it is also a book club pick for Mel from Eleanor Reed's Patreon. So if you want to read it with us, join her Patreon. I will link her channel down below. But yeah, I am excited to read that one for like with everybody, and it looks like it'll be fun, a fun read. So yeah, those are my books for the month of December. All right, thank you so much for watching. I have a lot of books on my TBR, and again, I will not get to all of these in December. There's no way I will be getting to all of these. But if you made it this far, please let me know what is on your December TBR or a book you want to finish before the end of the year. And if not, just put in a snowflake or Christmas tree emoji if you made it to the end here, if you don't feel like talking. Otherwise, please like this video and subscribe if you want to, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.